video, and it looked like WNBA fans is pissed off over A'ja Wilson and her special.
Fans went nuts after A'ja Wilson's walk-off, but not for the reason you may expect. Claiming that the officials gave her the victory, 12 free throws and 0 fouls, many are accusing her of receiving a special whistle. Caitlin Clark, however, hardly receives a call and is decked every game. In Vegas, something doesn't smell right. Is AA really that safe or that effective? Yes, the shot was crucial, so let's start by discussing it. A'ja Wilson hit the game-winning hit after pulling up. The crowd went crazy. It has been rolled 100 times in highlight shows. However, beneath all of that excitement, they observed something different. The way that phantom, do not touch sign hovered over her head, the referees were following her every move. It is referred to as the A'ja whistle by everyone on the internet. Since this isn't about a single call or game, they may actually have a point. There is a pattern. And since the previous season, the Fever supporters have been yelling about it. Let's go back. Phoenix is where this most recent catastrophe began. It was another tight one with Wilson's aces. Since everyone only remembers her receiving 12 free throws while the opposition star Sutta Sabali was hacked like a tree and barely made it to the finish line, the final score is no longer even important. To make matters worse, Sabali was injured. She wasn't even in the locker room afterwards, according to the coach.
Playing with those 5 fouls. Sabali.
Right now.
Where credit is due, props. A'ja Wilson has a lot of talent. No one disputes that. People begin to take note, though, when she consistently closes close games with the top players on the opposing side sitting with 5 fouls while she stands on the free throw line. Angel McMahon, 38. Indeed. Not even casual fans, either. Wait, why does AA always get the soft whistle? Ponder those who have recently boarded the WNBA train due to Caitlin Clark. The problem is that AA Wilson receives more than just calls. She receives defense. She is rarely in foul trouble. Her calls are rarely overturned. While everyone else is whistled for breathing close to her, she manages to play full-throttle defense. That no longer qualifies as skill. That is a privilege.
Give the ball to A'ja and get out of the way. That's all the play was.
Yeah, I feel like in that moment, if a coach has to tell me what to do, I'm not doing my job. And she just drew up a play. It wasn't really even a play.
Extremely simple.
Indeed, it was.
It's pretty much what you saw. And I'm appreciative that Becky trusts me in those moments. But that's playoff basketball moments. Those are the moments that you live for. So I'm glad I was able to just show up. I get on my cars for not just coming to work. So I'm glad I was able to come to work.
The icing on the cake is A'ja receiving continuation on contact that hardly existed, along with receipts, video everywhere, illegal screens, no calls, and phantom fouls on opponents on X, formerly Twitter. Let's go over a couple instances. A'ja first establishes a clear moving screen. Everyone in the audience can see it. The commentators even state, that's a foul. Not on her, but revs blow the whistle. It is called upon the defender. It has gotten that crazy. One more. For a comeback, the defender boxes out. Wilson bumps into her. They refer to it as a jump ball. On the opposite end, the same play. Someone is breathed on by Aaliyah Boston or Caitlin Clark. Automatic foul. This cannot be made up.
Something we have to talk about is the amount of free throws A'ja Wilson is getting off. Not only just the amount of free throws she's getting off, the free throws and the calls that is pretty much garnering her the type of performances like this. She never gets in foul trouble. She gets all her calls. At this point, bro, this is unprecedented. I feel as if Caitlin Clark needs this damn whistle. Everybody should be pitching a bitch about A'ja Wilson whistle because the WNBA was so far in the sunken damn place, no one paid attention to the sport. No one ever watched the first 2 damn
Fans are now drawing comparisons between it and Deflategate. Yes, the football scandal involving Tom Brady. That's how absurd this appears. And don't assume it's simply salty Fever enthusiasts chatting. Even some of AC's followers and neutral fans have begun to comment, all right, this is getting weird. However, this is what actually set off the explosion. The WNBA account shared a highlight reel after the game-winning play, complimenting AA's incredible clutch play. There were thousands of comments. Of them, half say, "Great shot." Additionally, the other half said, "Of course she made it. She was carried all night by the referees." You have a problem when the comment section of your highlight clips appears to be a courthouse. Since numbers don't lie, let's talk about them.
Mainstream media, and now people is paying attention. Not only is we paying attention, we're noticing a pattern, and the pattern is A'ja Wilson get this damn special whistle. Like, this should be looked at.
With over 8.3 attempts each game, Wilson leads the league in free throws. That's crazy. That is more than twice as much as Caitlin Clark's average, for comparison. Additionally, Clark is treated as though she owes money every night. Wilson has made more than 290 free throws so far this season. Nobody else is near. It's a monopoly, not a race. Tell me now, how is it possible for one player to consistently top the league in free throws without ever getting technical or fouling out? Either the referees treat her like royalty, or she is an alien basketball expert. Fans aren't upset that she's good, so don't get it wrong. They are upset that the league treats her as invincible. For a moment, let's compare it to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin is currently in her second year. Even though she is no longer the novice that everyone was making fun of, she still doesn't get the calls. The whistle remains silent, as if someone hit mute after she is shoved out of bounds, knocked to the ground, and elbowed. The referees run to the line quicker than a Black Friday throng when a Wilson is tapped on the wrist. The double standard is what enrages fans. And that's why people put an asterisk in their minds whenever AA wins a close game. Do you recall the game between the Aces and Caitlin Clark and the Fever earlier this season? Everything was essentially summed up in one possession. Clark drives, is hacked, and receives no call. Wilson receives 2 free throws after being brushed by a defender on the next play down. Complaining doesn't even help at this point, so the Fever bench fell silent. You simply know what's going to happen. Fans refer to it as the special whistle for this reason. I can already predict what some people will say. She is a celebrity. Stars are always called. However, referee adoration and celebrity treatment are not the same thing. Because he attacks the rim during every possession, LeBron James receives calls. Due to his ability to shoot through contact, Steph Curry receives calls. However, it is disrespectful to the superstar when A'ja Wilson can go a full half without receiving a foul call. Fixing the spotlight is what that is. This is when things get wild. It's not even a novel idea. According to 2023 statistics, she also leads the league in free throws. Repeatedly, the same pattern appears. The same outcome with different opponents and referees. Before tip-off, you could really guess the box score. 8 to 12 free throws, Wilson. 4 fouls, Boston. Caitlin Clark, 10 hits, 2 free throws. Rinse, lather, and repeat. Fans are screaming that enough is enough for precisely this reason. Because these things can no longer be hidden now that the WNBA is officially in the public view. Prior to Caitlin Clark's arrival, only diehard admirers were aware. These days, every small moment trends in a matter of minutes. Therefore, you can be sure that someone will record it, upload it, and tag everyone from ESPN to Elon Musk if Wilson gets away with a foul or makes 12 free throws again. The new reality is that another issue involving favoritism is too costly for the league. Not when the Fever brings in a record number of viewers, and half of those new viewers already believe the referees are acting in a biased manner. Speaking of agendas, let's discuss the possible causes of this. Because, to be honest, there is a notion that is beginning to make too much sense. The WNBA's money team is the Las Vegas Aces. They are marketed as the league's dynasty and are loaded with celebrities who are supported by casinos. They can be sold. They triumph. They attract large crowds. The league naturally wants them to advance far in the playoffs. And how can you prevent the disintegration of your greatest team? You keep the focal point safe. Wilson, A. Each league employs the same strategy. In the past, the NBA safeguarded its finest players. Wilson may now be doing it in the WNBA, just like the NFL does with quarterbacks. The issue is too evident. You cannot increase your fan base by giving everyone the impression that the outcomes are predetermined. Instead of favoritism, fans prefer competition. Fans of the Fever are therefore more vocal than ever. Every time Caitlin Clark touches someone without a whistle while AAs are in queue for sneezing too forcefully, they notice the imbalance. Caitlin is doing her best to manage it. Her visage speaks louder than words, even though she doesn't criticize individuals by name or vent to reporters. It is seen during games. She will be struck, glance at the referee, and simply chuckle incredulously. That is currently the source of the frustration. Players are beginning to allude to it as well. Some veterans shared cryptic posts such as "nobody needed names" and "some of you had lifetime ref passes." Everyone was aware. Therefore, there was no celebration on the internet when I hit that walk-off. It looked into slow-mo's, video, and breakdowns of all uncalled fouls. The last 2 minutes are actually freeze-framed, as if they were examining a murder scene. Here's the twist, though. She is beginning to feel the heat, since it's quick regret territory when your best moment is overshadowed by your cheated remarks. She attempted to add her typical Instagram caption, "blessed and thankful," but the feedback was harsh. Referee Wilson, as her fans call her. Others are writing, "good victory." The score was 12-2 according to the referee. It has become unsightly. Even impartial sports websites are inquiring as to whether the league is shielding her. You can tell the discussion has gained traction at that point. The craziest thing is that people will accuse you of detesting excellence the moment you bring this up. No, it isn't hate. It's requesting equity. Every night, Caitlin Clark's team shouldn't have to play 5-on-8. The Fever are having enough trouble rebuilding around up-and-coming talent. The supporters will quickly lose interest if they continue to fight the officials as if it were part of the strategy. No one wants to put money into a league where the results are taken delight in. That isn't a contest. It's poor theater. This is when the irony comes in. The league that talked about equality and respect all year long may be the one covertly fostering inequity on the court by rewarding one star while punishing another. Women's sports are not being empowered by it. Credibility is being destroyed by that. Please understand that A.A. Wilson is not the WNBA's archenemy. She is among the most talented forwards in the league. Her leadership, defense, and footwork are all genuine. However, that grandeur becomes less significant when supporters begin to doubt the honesty of her winning strategy. And regrettably, she isn't solely to blame. The league management and referees believe that success is synonymous with maintaining the league's reputation. It doesn't. In fact, the more they support one player, the more supporters flock to support Caitlin Clark, the player who is being shortchanged. And that's precisely what's taking place. Online, you can immediately sense things are changing. Whenever a dubious call helps the Aces, thousands of comments are made in support of Clark. She is evolving into a representation of justice, whereas Ada is evolving into a representation of partiality. Narratives shift at that rate. In the past, Aya Wilson was the league's favorite. She's currently in the news for the wrong reasons, being accused of cheating on referees, and it's clear that she's feeling the effects. She attempts to hide the strain in post-game interviews by smiling. When she says something like, "I just play my game," you can hear it. Or, "I don't control the refs." Fans continue to notice the pattern despite this fact. Because people cease to believe in coincidence when the pattern works for you every night. We'll stop there for the time being, because what comes next? This story is made even more bizarre by the fan reactions, memes, league silence, and Caitlin Clark subtly changing the story. Following the Phoenix game, the criticism persisted. It blew up. Every podcast, sports website, and X thread became the subject of a thorough inquiry. Supporters began drawing parallels between Caitlin Clark's entire season and every O.J. Wilson foul, or lack thereof. The disparity was humiliating. That evening, O.J. Wilson made 12 free throws. After being knocked down half a dozen times, Caitlin Clark considers herself lucky if she manages to get 4 in a full game. To detect the prejudice, you don't have to believe in conspiracies. The box score has it right there. Rival players even began to make insinuations about it. "Some people in this league get protected like they're made of gold," an unnamed player told a reporter. Names weren't necessary for fans. They understood who she was referring to previously. In the meantime, social media was cooking. The Whistle Queen, Vegas Scripted, and Ref Wilson all became popular. People created side-by-side videos of AA barely getting touched and then walking to the queue after Caitlyn was slammed to the ground without a call. It was cruel. "I can't control what people say," AA stated in response to questions from reporters. "All I do is play the game." Yes, that didn't help because sometimes it's louder to say nothing than to say anything incorrectly. Adam Silver's name even began to circulate once more. After Kathy Angelbert remained silent for the 20th time this month, fans demanded that an NBA representative investigate the WNBA's officiating issue. This league cannot continue to act as though its supporters are blind if it hopes to expand. The best part is that the entire situation is turned into a rallying cry by the Fever supporters. Although Caitlin Clark may not air grievances in public, her fan base certainly does. Now, each missed call serves as evidence that she is learning the hard way. Just basketball, no favors, no assistance. Even though AA Wilson might have won that particular game, she ultimately suffered a much greater loss. Credibility. Because that trophy begins to seem meaningless when supporters begin to think that your victories are accompanied by a whistle. What do you think, then? Is the referee unfairly assisting AA Wilson? Or are the fans simply irate following another ace's victory? The figures don't lie, in any case. The whistle does sound biased. Leave your comments below.